Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Got my coffee. I hope you've got yours. Have a great day, my friends. Sounded like the end of the video, didn't it? Today we're going to talk about analyzing the battle. I have an interesting game. It's not a massive damage game, but the combined is decent. I'm in my Carro P88, which is the next tank on the hit parade for the 100 Battle Challenge. I just finished the SMV-56, and the next Tier 7 I decided to do is this tank. Got kind of panned when it came out. I sort of liked it. Haven't looked at the stats lately on how it's doing globally, but I still kind of like the tank. I am running a turbo, a rammer, and an IA on this tank. All right. Bottom tier in a 2-tier battle. We're here on Himmelsfjordsdorf. This is a map that requires you to really pay attention on where the tanks are. It's also a map, unfortunately, that you're going to pick a flank more than likely unless you get around the middle somewhere, and you're kind of stuck in that flank for a large part. You have to pay attention to where the other tanks go and then make your decisions from there. So that's generally what we're going to talk about today is decision making. I get into a situation where I'm going to have to kind of hang out on a flank, and it's based on what I see in terms of the deployment and in terms of the setup for the match. All right. So if you're in a heavy on Fjords, that is how you say it. Generally, you go down here to the southwest on this corner on this heavy brawl. Generally. So we've got a Lurva and an IS-3 on the enemy team. They have an AMBT. We've got a couple Burrs. They have a Burr, a couple TDs, some artillery, 2 each, and then some heavies and such in the Tier 7 area. I look at this and I go, well, my Carro, I'm not super interested in running into the IS-3, but if the Lurva comes with me and maybe another heavy, then we should be able to handle it. As a general rule, we'll get going here. My assumption is that I can basically beat anybody same tier. All right, that's an assumption. Now, that doesn't always happen, but I'm good enough that I go into it thinking if I run into some same tier stuff, I can generally handle myself in a 1v2 or 1v3 if I have some cover. I'm not saying I can beat them every time. So I'm not too bothered if I go over to this corner and I don't have a whole lot of help. But that being said, if you're 1v3 and the enemy is smart, well, you're probably not going to hold any real corner for a long time unless you have some help. So let's just pause here for a second and take a look at the deployment. And I do pay attention to these as much as possible when I am initially deploying. So you want to have an initial plan of where to go. I already talked about that. I am noticing that the Lurva is sort of lagging behind back here, and I'm not 100% sure where he's going. I'm hoping he's coming my way, but I'm not sure based on what he's doing. We only have the JP on the enemy team lit up, so that's all I know right now. So I haven't changed my plan, except that because I don't have a lot of guys coming down here immediately, I'm not really going to go up on this ramp and start peeking. Generally, I'd go up here, set up, hold down, and look for some shots. Because of what I see headed towards the middle, I'm going to change that plan, and I'm going to come over here to this known spot on the corner of this building. Now, this is no great, amazing insight. A lot of people do this, but that's the reason I did it right here. Instead of going up and looking for an initial shot over here, which can be effective, but it's generally going to be shooting at someone's turret or a side-scraping guy with a relatively low chance to hit. What I'm now looking for is maybe they see the Eagle 7 coming, or the Eagle 7 is going to get some lights for me, and I might get some shots in the middle. So let's see how this thing starts to pan out. The AMBT pushes into the middle. That is really important to me right now, because what that means is that sucker's not going to be on that south corner. And for the moment, more or less, he's pinned down. It's an okay spot. He can jump in there and maybe gank the Eagle 7, who actually dives in there. He can also poke up some hold-down capability there as well. But with 2 artillery and all the guys we have in the middle, I'm not really overly worried he's going to push in from that spot anytime soon. Notice their Barask and a couple other guys are lit up on the top, and we have not seen the IS-3. The IS-3 is the one I'm waiting to find. I need to know where he is, all right? And also, too, and in addition to, the Lurva doesn't seem to be coming my way. So right now, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about what's going on over here. That Tiger is actually, I aim in there, but take a look at it. And this is something important you need to develop. You see the marker. I moved my pipper over there to see if I get a light. Then I quickly cross-checked the mini-map, and I noted that he's actually not up in that corner yet. He's still further back, all right? So work on that skill. The Eagle 7 dives in there and goes after the MBT, who apparently is out of shells and is on a reload and starts getting kind of beat up by the Eagle 7. That Scorpion G is way on the other side of the map, and we have not had the IS-3 show up, but we have a lot of them lit, and this is very interesting. So the Tiger's up top. I'm not going to find him down on the corner, okay, so don't have to worry about him. I haven't seen the M2Y. That's another heavy. That's the only other real guy I would imagine to come down there, and the IS-3. So I'm concerned that maybe those two are down in the south and potentially coming around the corner. Also notice that the T-43 and now a VZ-44-1, another heavy, are diving in on the Eagle 7. So they are all in on this middle brawl. Scorpion G is way back in the sniper position. The Tiger 1, the AMBT, the T-43, and the VZ-44-1, and the Eagle 7 has done a really nice job of surviving. And all of a sudden, the Lurva has decided to dive in there. So we've had a real kind of development in terms of how this match is playing out. And we've only got into it about 1:10. We can tell a lot right now about how this match is going. And the big concern for me then is Mr. IS-3 and Mr. M2Y. I forgot to mention the VZ-44. Until he showed up, that was the other one. Now imagine all three of them had come around that corner while I'm peeking over this way. So it is a calculated risk, but it's interesting that generally people will go to this corner and just kind of hang out waiting for you to poke, right? That is usually how people play. Pretty soon, though, I'm going to have to figure it out. There goes the Eagle 7. I'm thinking, hey, that Tiger 1's going to probably push up here, so let's see if I can get a shot on that guy. There he is. We find that dude. We get a shot. Unfortunately, it just tracks him. We'll back out. I figure I'm going to get spotted. You generally do. All right, I could have probably done a better job by sliding back here and going 15 meters from that tree and maybe taking shots that didn't get spotted. And really, I'm starting to get real concerned now. See, I'm checking over there. I'm like, what's going on? There goes the Tiger 1. Fantastic. I'll take it. 209 assist. Now, are these guys going to poke up and give me a shot? I actually miss a potential shot right there, and we'll back out. I get lit, and I check over here. What's going on? I don't know. Very concerned about that. So we'll just point this way. Why did I do that? Because my back was to them. I got lit. I don't want them going, ooh, his back's to them, or his back's to us. Let's push in and take this guy out. I do have a Scorpion back there, the sniper up on the hill. So this is not a fantastic position for me right now, but I feel like I can hold it. So that's why hold. Big stack of dudes up in the north right here. The whole fight at the moment is in the middle. Now we got the Lurva pushing in there and starting to abuse, and we got low hit point guys, and I really like what I'm seeing. In addition, the AT-15 has gone in there. Good on the AT-15, pushing in there and causing problems. And if they can wrap those three guys up, we have a really good situation. So I don't think there's anything up there going to shoot me, so let's turn around and let's go find out if we have any fellers up here. And in fact, we do. There's the M2Y. I know he has a weak spot on his turret, so I was trying to see if I could get a peek at that. Now, I don't want to just give the IS-3 shots. It was enough right now to know that those two guys are there. The three in the middle have cleaned up a significant portion of their power. The MBT, Tiger 1, VZ, those are all great tanks to get rid of. I have the IS-3 pinned down. More than likely, the two sniper big TDs are sitting in the back, so we don't have to worry about them for the moment. And I'm going to watch this thing start to develop. And what I'm concerned about now as I look at this entire fight is I want to just hold these two jokers here if I can. If they push me, I want to maul them as much as possible and try to fall back if I can. Maybe bring the Lurva and the BZ-58 over to help me and we can clean them up. If they sit there, I just want to keep them pinned down. So I'm going to back out. I don't even want to give the IS-3 a chance. Now he's going to come around the corner. Look at, he's thinking about it, right? He's like, oh crap, my team is losing pretty hard. What am I going to do here? Do I need to push in and get rid of this guy? I know that the Lurva is in the middle right there, and there's the BZ-58. So he knows those guys just had a scrap. Here comes their Burr pushing in. We'll see what happens to that guy. And you can tell by the way he's peeking, he's like, I probably need to get something done. And you can use that to your advantage to some extent. I know that. I don't know if he knows that. I'm making, again, an assumption at that point. But if he does want to push into me, I want him to come to me, uncover from the Scorpion or sniper over there, and at least whittle him down. So we'll just kind of peek and poke around here. We'll use this rock. We've got 2 artillery, so that's just free assist damage for me. Oop, he missed. Good. So baited that. Let's get up here and see if we can get a shot into him. Fantastic. Now that's going to irritate him, and you can notice that both of them are kind of starting to push, right? They're like, okay, we can't let this dude spot us, get pummeled by Artie, and sneak shots on us, right? We got to go get rid of this guy. So here they come. I'll just keep backing out. The IS-3. No, no, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. All right, that's no good, and I eat 2 shots, right? Not a lot I could do. They push in, but I get some more assist at 778. Now I'm going to go hide behind this building right here. I'm going to say, please, M2Y, do not reload in time. All right, already got a shot. Very nice. Trying to bait some shots if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay, they're already hit me. That's a bummer. Nope. Probably could have used my kit. Now, right here, I was just about to say, really what they needed to do was keep pushing, right? I had some friends back over here that helped me out. I have a friend over there helping me out. I got 2 friends in squares back here. Well positioned, by the way, to help me out, the Titanium Duck and 2NT5. Those guys are able to get up there because they're not really pressed by anything in the middle. So all fantastic. Lots of damage going in. We got 1,555, and I'm just holding. Just holding. I can see the BZ, the low, and the AT are starting to constrict on them right there. If I'm honest, I really wish the Lurva would have come my way, because if he'd have pushed up there with the BZ, we'd have had a fantastic time. But it's going okay. 1,555. I feel like I need to find the IS-3. I'm like, where is this guy? Oh, great. So now I'm getting bombed by their square. The FV. I think he's probably running the little gun, or one of the little guns, because he seems to be reloading fairly quickly. Also, pretty good arc on that gun, by the way. I mean, I'm sitting here right here with these buildings, so he's able to drop them right over top of that. Now, where is this ridiculous IS-3? How do I handle this guy? I can see that my team is in a good position. It's 8-2. The Rompel is on. They're starting to constrict over there. 3 guys go down quickly. Our Lurva dies, which is fine. And then I find the IS-3, which allows my squares to start pummeling him. There's some more, up to 1,969. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Yes, it would be fantastic if I had a 3,000 damage game and I was showing you how I dominated low tier in my heavy and did all kinds of damage. And occasionally I'm able to do that. That's a terrible position by him. He's just trying to hide, but he stuck his rear end up. I think he just gives up right here. Gets hammered, puts his gun up in salute and says, all right, you got me. And we'll just shoot that dude. So it would be great if I did thousands and thousands of damage. You know, say I went to the middle with those guys, I could make a video about how you glom together with the lemming rush and you take them out and then you switch over to the other flank and all that good stuff. But sometimes you just have to go with the flow. And this map's a great example because I could have gone up the hill, right? If I go up the hill, I can't do anything down here. Well, I went down here. I'm not going to ever be able to get back up the hill unless I have a long time. So the maps where you kind of have to pick a side, especially in a relatively slow tank like this heavy, then you just have to analyze the match. The old OODA loop from there, right? Observe, orient, decide, act. Okay, I observed the setup. I generally know that it's generally a good idea to take your heavy down there. I watched as the Lurva didn't really come to back me up. That was the first big break point in my decision tree. Made the decision to hang out on that corner while checking 6 to see what was going on with the IS-3. Of course, that then acted on that from there, and then continued on all those check marks down through the game in an effort to win the game, right? If I wanted more damage, what I probably should have done was just bail out of that position and rage over and help them in the middle. Gobble up some damage, and then maybe we could have turned on the IS-3. Problem with that is letting the IS-3 get in behind us and start working on us as well, right? I also had the Scorpion back there that I could use. So there's a lot going on here, guys, and there's more than one way to skin that cat to win this game. But I just wanted to give you a little thought process on how all that went down. Go ahead and let me know what you think down below there. Actually, I get one more bit of damage here. I forgot about the Barask. Does a runner, and I'm able to take a shot on him. I think I even get some extra assist. I believe I track him. We'll just wait as he comes in. Hit him, track him. Very nice. Do I get this? I think I do. The other burr comes in and blaps him. And I do. I get another 160 assist out of that. 751 damage, 2,352. So while you look at that and go, well, fairly average game. That's a 3,000 combined at tier 7, which turns out to be pretty nice and kind of done in a relatively unusual way, right? Not just getting out there and punching faces, but wanted to break that down a little bit, thought process wise. Really, you can find yourself in bad positions in this game, but you can still make good decisions to leverage that, I guess is what I'm saying. Just because you didn't do a lot of shooting damage doesn't mean you aren't a critical part to winning. Now, I'm not saying in this case that there's the only reason our team won is because of what I did. Absolutely not. It's a bit of a romple stomp. But based on what people did, that started then to whittle down the team. Based on what their team did, YOLOing in the middle and getting crushed by our counterattack, all those things build on each other. So it's not a case of at the very beginning, X did X and that was the end of it. I mean, that can have an effect on it, but everyone has to make decisions as the match goes, and those can then start to turn into the avalanche, which is pretty standard in this game. You get these turbo battles going. You lose a couple critical tanks early on in positions, or critical tanks in critical positions, and it can start to snowball from there. So when I was looking at this and analyzing it, I said, all right, this south side has to be held at least for a little while. I know how I want to try to get out of there if I have to, but I'm going to hold for just a moment here and see if I can't find this IS-3. And then once we found him and his buddy, all right, kind of pinned down. I don't want to let them free into the middle, so we'll hold them here. We'll use the help that I've got in the squares and the triangles back there, and it ended up working out really nicely for the team. Meanwhile, the rest of the team did a real nice job up in the north, spanking things up there as well. So if I had fallen, would it still have been a win? Possibly, but I think it would have been a little more hard fought if you had a relatively high hit point IS-3 and M2Y raging around back in there. All these other little smaller guys would have had to turn around and try to take those dudes on. All right, that's all I've got. Let me know what you think down below. Is there anything you would have done different? That's all I've got for today. We will see ya.